You're listening to the 2400 Block Podcast with Johnny Roobs.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the 2400 Block. Guess who this is? It's Johnny Roobs. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these. And no, I'm not talking about video podcasts. No. This is an entirely different story here. We're talking about audio podcast on a PodTrack P4 equipment. Yep, it sure has been a long time since I've done one of these. And this is where the magic starts. This is where it all happened, you know? This is how the podcast has captured its spark. It starts with the audio podcast that I've done from years ago, starting off in 2020. I can't believe it's already that long. But here I am. I'm talking to you, and I have no video. For the first time ever, it just feels great without having a camera pointed at my face. It just sometimes I find it to be cringy, weird. Looking at myself, looking at my oblong head with the headphones on, and sometimes looking at myself, I look bloated. Sometimes I look flushed red. I don't know. I could be embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But guess what? It feels good to be back here. I don't even have to wear anything at all. Well, I am wearing something. I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but I decided to carry on this podcast here, doing it this way. I think it's going to work on everyone. And it's going to be a while since I'm going to get adjusted to this once again. But guess what? It feels better. It feels better. Feels very, very awesome just to do this again. I feel so empowering. I feel so motivated. I feel like this is my superpower. It beats being on the camera. It really does. And just talking to you guys right now just makes it even more better. I could have said betterer or betterest, but they're not even words. But tell you what though, I'll be back doing what I do best, being superior on the mic, doing everything possible to make myself better. And I gotta admit, it took a while. It seems like the sickness that carried on in 2022 woke me up. And along the way, it seems like I lost my train of thought. I lost my motivation. I lost the tendency to continue on in doing this, as well as my other work, which is my book. I have not finished that in how long now? Years. I picked up the pen, started writing. It was back in 2019. Here we are, 2023. And I still have not completed this literary piece, this wonderful adventure novel that is sure to be on everyone's minds real soon. And I thank you guys, whoever's been messaging me about when this book is going to be finished. I can tell you for sure next year. But in reality, I can't say for sure when it will finish. I could start it today. I could start it tomorrow. I could start it next week, for all I know. I can't say for sure when it's going to be done. I have to be in the moment to finish this thing. I need to be motivated. I need to be dedicated, committed to finishing that piece of work, just like I'm doing with this podcast right now. I'm talking to you guys without even having to read anything on the screen. I am not even reading the teleprompter. I'm speaking to you guys the way I should be speaking. And that's just talking to you from the heart. And it's been a while since I've done one of these things. Yeah. Just trying to get back with the flow. I was thinking it was going to be nervous doing the audio podcast again, but guess what? It's even better this time around. I got the grasp of it now. I feel even more energetic. I feel like a piece of me just came back. Like a piece of my arm just came back. A piece of my neck just came back. Maybe my head is finally back. Who knows? I don't know. I just made that crap up just for you guys to laugh about. But tell you what. We got something going on here with these audio podcasts coming up. And I got a name for it. And you know what it's going to be called? It's going to be called Roobs Got This. That's right. It's mostly going to be solo podcasting here. Unless if I'm going to bring this thing out and interview someone, that would be really cool to get it out there on the road. Besides being in the confines of this room, I am planning to take it out there and everywhere. And I'll start off with being on the soccer field in some park where there's rarely any people. This gives me the chance to bring things to life. Whatever comes to my mind, it's going to be on that field. And I take my life as if it's a game. Right now, it's 2023. This is the fourth quarter. I wish things could be better in my life, personally. But I got things that I must take care of. But as far as this hobby called podcasting is concerned, oh my goodness, it's a breakthrough season. I've already done 14 episodes to date this season alone. And most of that is on video. And now part of it is back on audio once again, thanks to yours truly here. Now, everyone's just not going to hear this on Anchor, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and so forth. No, it's not just going to be heard there. No, it's going to be also uploaded onto YouTube. Yes. So you're just going to be basically seeing an image of me like you're seeing right now. And you're just going to be hearing this audio as it just keeps going on and on. And I'm just very proud of the fact that despite messing up here, sometimes saying the wrong things, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm saying the wrong things because that is the heart of the podcast here, guys. The part of fucking up. That's what it has to be. That is the rawness of a podcast. It starts right there. I remember a few seasons ago, guys, I was talking to my friend Ray in one of our podcast conversations, and as we kept talking, we just kept saying, it's just part of the thing, when we talk. Just me and Raymond just talking naturally, saying, and then a couple of episodes later, I interview a guy named Nick. Sorry to put you on the spot, Nick. But he also said, a couple of times, and you know what? I don't care anymore if we mess up. That's just what podcasting's all about. You just come off naturally, instead of just saying, oh, I just want to edit this one off. No, I'd rather keep it going as it is right now rather than just taking time and editing this whole piece. No, we're not going to let it go like that. Life is about messing up. Life is about taking responsibility and accountability. And speaking of that, I can tell you about two events that's been going on in my life during the last couple of days, and yours truly was involved. And I could go back to the first one here. Let me see if I could just flash back for a moment. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, I was at a stoplight. And before going to the stoplight, me and the semi were going about the same speed. Now, behind us is this one guy in a tinted SUV. He is driving erratically from one lane to the next. He doesn't know which to choose because me and the semi driver are like hella slow. And once we reach the light, he looks at me. He rolls down his window. I roll down my window so I can hear him out. He looked frustrated. He looked angry. He was raging. And he said, I got kids in the back. I got kids in the back. How do I know you got kids in the back when you got tinted windows and you driving like a bat out of hell? That's just crazy. And you know what I said to him? Oh, okay. And that was it. I let him just rant on and leave. And that's the best way to approach the situation, is that you don't have to say anything else after that. Just let him go about with whatever he wants to air out of his mind. Just let him go. And enter situation number 2. And this was just like last week. I do rideshare for a living at the moment, trying to wait for the great job opportunity to come along. And I drop a mother and her son at an elementary school. And I did not know that there was a painting on the road going on the school ramp. And as I dropped them off, I was being yelled at by one of the guys that is doing the paint work on the ramp, on the roadway there at the school. And yeah, he was flabbergasted. He was pissed because I took my car and went over the paint. I did not know what was going on. Besides the fact that they just had their vehicle there and nobody was on the road and it looked like everything was clear. But I wouldn't have known because there was no signs that said spray paint or wet paint or painting in progress, or even putting the cones right on the paint itself. They did not even have that. Oh my goodness, he was red, flush red, more red than I was when I was doing my podcast. And he just wasn't having it. He called me a moron as I was leaving, and the one guy who he was with, a more of a younger fellow, I'm assuming he's in his early 40s, but he seemed very lenient. He knew I made a mistake, and he wasn't going to make a big deal out of it. He just told me to just back up a bit and head out that way. And that was it. The other guy, oh my goodness, he just kept rambling. So yeah, you just got to take everything in stride, folks. Take everything in stride. And that's what I plan to do with these podcasts. Even if I goof up, even if I might say the wrong thing, and then later on apologize for it, that would be great. It takes a lot of responsibility being on a podcast, being aware of what you're talking about, being careful what you say, because we live in a world right now in which you are being watched or heard. And whatever you do, it can get to others. It can offend others. It can be disturbing. It can be anything like that. But what I'm going to do now, before I conclude this podcast real soon, is that I am going to open this birthday stuff here. Yeah, I haven't even opened some of my birthday presents. Okay, confession. Okay, let me open something here. And this one comes all the way from Momence, Illinois. This one comes from Mama Jean. Now, it's going to take a while for me to open it since I'm holding a mic at the same time. You hear that tear, huh? Okay. Now, let me open this one up. And it just says, John, happy all year long. Love, Jean. Thanks, Mama Jean. Appreciate that so much. And then I am very grateful to have met you a few days ago during breakfast. You are lovely. Okay. Now this one comes. Let me hold my mic here. I'm going to have to hug my mic a little bit as I'm doing this now. I don't have a mic stand, so I'm basically holding the mic right now as I'm opening this. Okay, for those of you that are listening right now, welcome to the audio podcast here for the 4th season. and I call this audio podcast format. We got a title for it now. Roobs got this. That's the name of it. Roobs got this. Just keep that in mind. Try to see if you can make a difference between the shows that are going on YouTube and the audio podcast coming back with its new title called Roobs Got This. You're going to see a graphic of me and my oblong-looking bald head. You'll see that image, and it'll say Roobs Got This 2400 Block Podcast. And this is going to be episode number 400-something. Well, guys, just to let you know, you're probably thinking this is like the 400-something episode. I want to break it down like this, guys. The 04 represents the season. And then number 13 or number 14, that represents the episode numbers. So I just want you guys to be clear of that. Okay, so, alrighty. This one comes from my mom in Virginia Beach. It says, Dear John, thinking of you on this very special day. Happy birthday. May God grant all your wishes. Love you now and always. Mom, Dad, Jay and Jeff. Awesome. Awesome of Mom to have written me that birthday card. And I look forward to many more birthdays to come as long as I'm living. And I hope to see them about 2 months from now when Christmas rolls around the corner. Okay, guys. Thank you for hanging in there as we're going about this new series, hyping up the audio podcasting once again. The podcast that y'all have come to know and love is returning. Roobs Got This, premiering right now as I'm talking to you. I'm doing this from the room, from the studios, but I'm not using the stuff that's in my studios. I am using the PodTrack P4 along with the microphone, along with the headphone to make sure that I sound so damn good. So, guys, just keep in mind right now that this is just the beginning, okay? This is just the beginning of what is yet to come. You're going to enjoy more on what you see on YouTube there as me and my co-host Kenny, and sometimes he's going to be the host also. He's going to be interviewing guests as long as we keep going. So, yeah, that'll be great for the two of us to continue the flow, to continue on the success of the 2400 Block Podcast. I would like to see others involved besides me and Kenny. Perhaps we can start doing a panel of wonderful hosts from everywhere. Doesn't matter what part of the United States. And if it went around the world, that would be awesome too, because all we are, folks, is a community, a podcasting community. So, you know what? The more the merrier. That's going to take a lot of workload off of me. But tell you what, you're going to see me doing this a lot more often if that is indeed the case. If others will get all involved and they step up and they want to showcase other guests and talk to other guests and be a part of this wonderful pillar that is the 2400 Block Podcast, that would be phenomenal. I can just picture it off right now that we're going to be probably successful next year as well. I mean, if it keeps going the way it is. Now, no telling what will happen. You know, life happens, you know. I mean, sometimes there are just some things that get in the way. I mean, look at right now. I'm not even finished with my book yet. And it's going to be a while since I will finish that. And I plan on finishing it, guys, one way or another. I hope it'll be at least next year. Next year will be great if I have to. And I just had to kick myself in the rear end, you know. I have to motivate myself once again to get back on doing what I love. I just felt like I've lost that spark when I've been sick, when there are some times I feel very weak, when my body feels like it's just not working, man. So right now, things seem to be well at the moment. And I just got to start picking up the pieces where I left off. Now, it really sucks when you have to go back to the book, reread what I've written, and then go forth next on how about to conclude the story arc. Now, I have 3 possible endings. I do not know whether to use one or the other or just go with the alternative one. So it's just so hard to tell, and I can just picture this off in my head, and I just have to vividly explain it on paper, or shall we say Microsoft Word. That's how I do my work, is on Microsoft Word. Well, guys, I'm looking at this thing right now. I've already elapsed 20 minutes of this recording, and I hope you guys are just bearing with me right now. This is like a reunion that we're having, and I know you guys missed on the content on what we used to talk about. Remember when I started talking about being a minimalist, or having to go through some parts of life and it seems very impossible and you just got to rattle its cage? Remember that? Yeah, I'm going to be back with more content like that, man. I know you guys missed out on that. I know you guys are not saying it, but I know you guys are demanding it. I know deep inside your minds right now, guys, that you want to say go. So that's what I plan on doing. I want to help people out in some form or another. Even how to motivate people as they're listening to me speaking. I'm very instrumental on my efforts. People know that. People know I care. People in my life know I care. People who have been a part of my 49 years of existence know I care. And by the way, my birthday is not just to celebrate my life. No. It's also to celebrate the lives of who's been in my 49 years. So I thank all of you who showed up and did, and I know some of them have passed on, unfortunately, but in spirit, they're still here resonating in me. So that's good. That is good. I want to celebrate you guys being a part of my life, being a part of my 49 years of existence. And some of you guys are like something to remember by, and some of you guys were like my challenges, sometimes my disappointments. But everything culminates to a dynamic life. And without these circumstances, without these challenges, without these trials, what kind of life would I have? You know, if it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't feel empowered. I wouldn't feel improvement. I wouldn't feel my best. I would be just static, just remaining as it is. Nothing to gain from. I got so much shit going on in my life right now that I need to fix. No, it's not even in the relationship sector. No, I'm happy with that one. But just things I just have to take care of in life. And I just want to let you know that I am not perfect by any means. No, I am not. And I just want to say right now that I got this time right now. I'm 49. I can do this. Especially in 2023 when I've had some setbacks. And it seemed to have taken my motivation away. You know, I'm already in the 4th quarter. I can hope to finish this with a win. Like I said, my podcasting is a breakthrough so far. It's awesome. But as far as life is concerned, there's so much to work on. So much. And I plan to do that. And I plan to even discuss a little bit about what I'm going through. Not too specifically about it, but just ways to cope with it, ways to overcome and achieve and win. I hope to talk about that with my future audio podcast coming up. So this is just the tip of the iceberg right here, guys, with this audio podcast. So yeah, stay tuned to more episodes of Roobs Got This, because I'm definitely getting this to you guys, and you guys can just hear me out a lot more. Okay, so I'm holding the mic right now. I'm not making any edits whatsoever. You already heard maybe 2, 3, 4 mess ups as I'm going along. Hey, I'll take it with a grain of salt. I'll take it with a grain of salt. And what better way than doing this in a room? And I soon to carry this onto various places wherever I go. Maybe in a Starbucks. I don't know where else I'm going to go with this one, but it's going to be awesome to just take this PodTrack P4 with me, get these episodes rolling, getting them out there, and just trying to inspire all of you to make sure that you guys can live a very excellent, productive life, minding your own business, achieving your goals, the simple stuff, the stuff that we should be concentrating on rather than going out there on social media and bashing somebody verbally, hiding behind a computer. No, we're not going to go for that, guys. We're going to go old school. We're going to find ways to make our lives better. And I hope to bring that to you in the forthcoming episodes of Roobs Got This, a new audio format episode content here that we're going to bring on the 4th season on top of the video podcast that you've been seeing already on YouTube. And by the way, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to those episodes. It's just overwhelming and excited at the same time, just knowing that it has done so remarkably well over there on the YouTube platform. And yeah, I am at a loss for words. That's how I'm sounding right now. And I shall conclude this podcast of Roobs Got This and letting you know that I am back on the audio podcasting platform. This is Johnny Roobs here, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Take care now.